The sands of time ravage all. Mortals, monuments, even civilizations cannot stand against it. Their remnants lost beneath the dunes, awaiting discovery by the brave or foolish.
What's that? I can hear something. Come here, quiet.
Like time itself, the living are not welcome in Nehekara. For this is the land of the dead, ruled by the Tomb Kings, where only the expired may serve. The mortuary cult were the first to deny death's embrace, if not the ravages of time. Lich Lord Khatep seeks to return the cult to Settra's grace. Eternity was promised, but the Tomb Kings awoke to unlife, no longer beatific sovereigns. Their kingdoms as decayed as their bodies. The glory of Khemri lost, forgotten. A comet, an omen. The Black Pyramid stirs, but does not wake. A vessel of untold power, awaiting a new master. But it remains sealed. The Lich Priests are tasked with finding access. They venture deep into the catacombs, seeking clues. Discovering an obelisk inscribed with hieroglyphs as old as the desert gods. The answer lies in the 9 books of Nagash, the original tomes of undead lore, authored by the arch-necromancer. Due to the turbulence of the vortex across the ocean, not 9, but only 5 books are needed. Then, the pyramid shall open. Time has seen the books lost, scattered. Other Tomb Kings will seek them, for all desire the Black Pyramid. Begin the search. Raise your warriors. The legions of Khemri march to war.
His wish exiled me to roam these frozen and barren lands of Nagaroth. But they will not stop me from still serving my king. I have failed him once in the search for unlife, but I shall not fail again. I yearn to journey back to Khemri, past the bestial hordes that war with us, and across the cold mountains, harboring a dark, chaotic magic, as unsubtle as it is destructive. If I am to return to Nekara, I must find safe passage. The coast is guarded by high elves, and a great ocean filled with peril. Yet these lands of the Dark Elves and the jungles of Lustria may yet still provide what the mortuary cult seeks. The path to the day of awakening. The answers are hidden in the Black Pyramid. But to gain entry, I must seek out the books of Nagash. These tomes of our arch-enemy are the key to our ultimate purpose and King Settra's grace.
Hello! MonstersAbound here, back with a brand new campaign with the Tomb Kings as Grand Hierophant.
It's Lord of Henry.
Yep. Oh, okay, he's a bit breathy. Grand Hierophant Khatep. But who is this wizened mummy guy? We saw a little bit of snippets of lore from the cutscene beforehand, which is pretty great, and also, you know, he himself. Off you go, come back in your box. But who is Khatep? Where did he come from? Who are the Tomb Kings? What's going on here? Why are we full of all these dusty mummies? Well, it begins with a man named Settra. In a grand city of Khemri within the city-states of Nehekhara, Settra wanted to be king, and so became king. And then he wanted to be king of everything, and so he went and did that. Good job there. And then he decided he wanted to live forever. That didn't go so well. He did, however, create the Mortuary Cult, an organisation dedicated to finding a way of allowing Settra to live forever, even after he had popped his clogs. Turns out that all the other kings of Nehekhara, down the ages after Settra, also decided this was a pretty good idea. Pretty lit, as the kids would say. And so the Mortuary Cult became very powerful. Although they found ways to lengthen a lifespan, they couldn't hold off death indefinitely. So they interred the kings in pyramids and sealed them with rituals and seals to keep them safe until they could then resurrect them. A few centuries later, a man called Nagash was born, and he also decided he wanted to be king, despite being the firstborn son of the current king of Khemri, so he was dedicated to the Mortuary Cult. But, like Settra, he had big dreams. So he learned dark magic off some dark elves, assassinated his brother, and conquered the whole of Nehekhara within his iron fist, until some kings rebelled and overthrew him. Millennials. But Nagash still had some big dreams, and we always say, follow our dreams, and even if those dreams are to kill everyone in the world, raise them as your undead slaves, and become a god, they were pretty big dreams. Nagash crept away and holed up in a big old mountain filled with warpstone, watching the kingdom of Nehekhara once again flourish without his iron grip, and that really pissed him off. Then some Skaven showed up and started making trouble in his neighbourhood. He got in one little fight over a period of about 10 years of non-ending tunnel warfare, and the Skaven got scared and offered him a peace deal in exchange for some warpstone, which Nagash took because they'd actually almost exhausted him. The Skaven and Nagash came to an agreement, and occasionally the Skaven would do some dirty work for Nagash. This had, however, clocked Nagash on the council's radar, and they were watching him closely. Nagash went in for round 2 with Nehekhara, but the then king, Al-Qadizza, soundly kicked the shit out of his lieutenants. This also pissed Nagash off. Taking this with his usual good humour, Nagash then had the Skaven poison the river that brought life to the lands of Nehekhara and killed fucking everyone. Taking the then king Al-Qadizza prisoner and preparing a giant ritual to raise the entire kingdom as his undead army. The Council of 13, seeing that this would be a very bad idea, for once in their miserable rat lives decided to work together because nothing scared them more than Nagash with an unliving endless army that would put even the hordes of Skavendon to shame. They freed Al-Qadizza and gave him a sword made of pure warpstone, which was basically the Warhammer world equivalent of a nuclear warhead, and guided him to Nagash. Nagash was so busy with this nerd shit that Al-Qadizza, having watched his wife, children and entire kingdom melt from the inside, thanks to Nagash's poison, fucked Nagash up good and proper. Nagash actually got a good hit in, but the council protected Al-Qadizza, even some of the council themselves giving their lives to stop Nagash. Now that, for Skaven, is that's a pretty big deal. Nagash was dead, And his ritual, which he was currently in the progress of doing, went a bit wrong, which was both a blessing and a curse. Within the tomb cities of Nehekhara, generations of interred kings, princes and queens and their entire armies awoke. A group of crows is called a murder. A group of royalty is probably a civil war. Of course, everyone thought that they were the proper king, and the rest of the upstarts were just making trouble. The risen liches of the mortuary cult tried to restore order, but royalty tends to be a bit headstrong, and so the mortuary cult got nowhere. Eventually, the head of the mortuary cult, Khatep, that's our hero over here. Quite how the mortuary cult was so ready to accept leadership when the royalty wasn't, I don't know, but I guess they'd maybe planned better for this eventuality. Khatep decided that he knew what had to be done. Unfortunately, it meant waking up Settra, who was currently still asleep. Settra had been interred in the biggest pyramid with the most powerful wards, and so the ritual had yet to affect him. Khatep went and kicked the door in and woke up his crankiness. Settra had been promised a golden afterlife. The dusty and dead remnants of his greatness were not what he had ordered. Fortunately, he took it in his usual good humour. Just joking, he was fucking livid. I mean, he went apeshit, and Khatep got the brunt of his rage. Fortunately, he had other things to deal with, and Settra went out and knocked heads together until everyone agreed they'd stop fighting if he would just stop please punching them in the face, thank you very much. Settra, having restored order, then turned back to Khatep and told him that unless Khatep could give Settra what he'd promised, he was exiled until he could. And so Khatep left, wandering the lands like the littlest hobo. If the littlest hobo was a mummy, which he was not. So, Khatep starts in the arse end of nowhere. Now, we're playing the Vortex campaign, and the reason I'm playing the Vortex campaign is because Khatep kind of starts in a weird area. Now, most factions start with good territory around them to expand into. Khatep's a bit different in that, particularly in the Mortal Empires campaign, he starts in the arse end of nowhere. Generally surrounded by terrain he can't really use. In Vortex, it's a bit better. But because obviously they had to shrink the map in Mortal Empires, it does mean you tend to... I mean, some of the Dark Elf territory is a bit weird in that it's got provinces which are sort of half ice, which is this ice, and half mountain. Now, we like mountains, we like wastelands. There's not many wastelands in Mortal Empires in Naggarond. In fact, I think there's only two provinces. It's a bit like the Savannah. So if we have a quick look here, right? So we also like Savannah, right? So that fine. There's only, I believe, I'm right in saying this. I believe there's only. All right, Khatep, we get the idea. Thank you. Stop shouting. There's only two provinces. I mean, two settlements, sort of two areas on the entire Mortal Empires map that is Savannah. That's it. So if you have that as a preference, it's actually basically pointless in Mortal Empires. There's definitely more in the Vortex campaign. So I decided, you know what, we'll do Vortex instead. I've never done the Tomb King's Vortex campaign. Might be quite fun, so we're going to do it. And so we've got some quests. I'm not going to worry too much about all that stuff. So, Tomb Kings, right. So, the Tomb Kings, if you don't have the DLC, you've never played Tomb Kings before, they're very different from normal factions. You might see that we've got a current income of 45. Now, you might go, oh, that's not a lot, and you'd be right. Except for the fact that no Tomb King units cost a penny. However, we have limits on what we can recruit. So, for example, we can get some archers here, but only 4 of them. And we can get 4 archers because we've got this building here which gives us the ability to recruit 4 archers. So you can only recruit units that you have the ability to recruit via the buildings you have constructed, which is fine. You can recruit as many skeleton warriors and skeleton spearmen as you like. They're basically infinite. You can just recruit entire stacks of them. Armies, though, you're limited again. We can only have currently 1 of 1 army. We can get more with technology, so we can do that. We can also get more using the Mortuary Cult's Canopic Jars, so we need 10,000 gold and 800 Canopic Guard and Jars, and we can have another army. We can also use the jars for various other bits and pieces, making some magic items and stuff, assuming we have the trade resources available. So your armies are entirely free. Doesn't cost anything to recruit units. That does mean the Tomb Kings are I quite like the way they work, but it can be a bit frustrating. So to start off with, I think we almost... I mean, the Nehekaran warriors aren't actually that good. They're not that much better than skeleton warriors, to be honest, so we're not going to worry about that. I'm kind of tempted to maybe go for the growth. Because the faster we grow, the better, right? But what other options do we have? I don't think we have... Oh, but we could maybe get the skeleton horsemen. They might be quite useful early on. The other option is chariots. Now, chariots are generally quite tricky to use, but you do... I kind of... You know what? I'm going to go chariots. Fuck it. Fuck it. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And we're also going to recruit all the archers that we can recruit. In fact, if we go into the city, can we get global recruitment as well? Yes, we can. Right, so we do that. Do that. Let's do that. Right, good. Okay, good. So Khatep starts off with the Grand Hierophant here. So this gives us more Lich Priests and also a recruit rank increase for Lich Priests. We also then start off with Lich Priest here. However, can we always recruit Lich Priests? We can. So does it not make more sense to, like... Because this guy's level 1, right? He's a proficient caster, but he's level 1. So, Grusuf here, get lost. Get the fuck out of here. Because we can now just recruit level 4 ones. I mean, why would we not do that? So, let's do that. Ooh, I mean, knowledgeable sounds quite nice. Proficient caster is fine. Right, so we've got 4 schools of magic that we can technically have. We've got shadow, but we can't recruit shadow priests yet. Unfortunate, because they're shadow priests and some of the best, or shadow magic, some of the best magic you can get. The Nehekaran school of magic is, it's okay. Light magic is complete garbage. Death magic, pretty good. So, I mean, the problem is these guys, I mean, tough and strong, both completely useless for casters. Proficient caster is fine. Knowledgeable is very good. I think we want knowledgeable. We want knowledgeable because he's just going to give us, like, flat increase of stuff. So we'll grab that. I'm kind of tempted to go Canopic Jars with him. Can we just do that? That's we get 3 jars a turn then. So Khatep also, playing as his faction, so he has mountains as suitable climate. He generates Canopic Jars per turn. He hates Dark Elves. More campaign movement range, recruit rank for Lich Priests, and also casualty replenishment rate increase, which is generally pretty good. So we're going to get 5 Canopic Jars a turn at the moment, which is pretty good. Now, I want, I guess, Foktem. Yeah, that one. Good. Let's give you Spirit Leech. Let's give you, I guess, let's maybe go Soul Blights. I quite like the idea of replenish troops. Let's do something like that. Let's do something like that. I kind of want... Right, so basically, Foktem is going to join us. He's going to be in our army. Apho... Who? Jesus Christ, did you stub your toe or something? Apho is he's gonna be our scout. He's just there to, like, look around. Right, we've got research. Now, obviously, research takes quite a while. And it increases the... or decreases the research rate once we have... So you can't just research all of these and get all the armies. Tax rate is not great, but public order would be quite useful. Ambush success chance is not bad. We're not really going to be fighting in desert terrain. Unit capacity, Khemrian Wall Sphinx, we probably won't be able to use that yet. I do like Usha. You know what? I think I'm going to go for the Wisdom of the Second Dynasty to start off with. I feel like particularly to start off with, chariots and cavalry are going to be very useful because we're going to be up against Dark Elves, and Dark Elves are going to be a bit of a problem for us because their infantry is going to be better. They've got those Dark Shards. I need to lock down those Dark Shards before I do anything else, I think. Dark Shards need to die, I think, is basically... I mean, the other nice thing... Oh, hello. Hello, Belle. The other nice thing about Vortex is the end turn time is a lot quicker, which is nice. So that's good. Construct a building that permits recruitment of more units. Can do. In fact, already doing that. You know what? I'm going to hold off because money is hard to come by. Money is very... Right, we're going to pop you in there. Now... Something I have to be mindful of is the fact that the cost for agent actions is ridiculously expensive compared to what we earn every turn. So actually, I don't want to do anything to these guys, because if I do something to them, then I'm basically going to wipe out my income for about 8 turns, and that feels quite bad. Short-sighted. That's a bit rude. Let's get more skelly boys. More skelly boys. Get them in. That's what we need to do. Okay, so... Are you going into an ambush, are you? You cheeky bugger. Right, we know he's there. I just can't see him. A whole bunch of stuff. Do I just want to blunder into that? Fuck it. Yeah, why not? Oh, opportunity to intercept. Okay, let's kill Belle. I do love the first battle of a campaign. It's got that new battle smell, new campaign smell. That's what you want, isn't it? It's minty fresh. So we've got the Hierophant here. What am I going to call him? I don't know. Maybe... What does he look like? Does he look like a... I don't know. Maybe like Tarquin? I'm not sure. So the Hierophant's quite a good unit, actually. Quite like him. Got some Harpies coming and messing us up. Poor old Foktem. That's what he's shouting at the moment. Foktem! It's fine. So Khatep has thrown a little Sandstorm, Soulstorm, whatever that is. He's got 3 uses of it. It's a Vortex spell, basically free to use, which is quite nice. Now already, these Skeleton Warriors are garbage, let's be honest. They're actually even worse than Dread Spears, which is takes some doing. I mean, all right, Dread Spears are actually pretty good. But they're already a little bit unhappy. They're currently losing. Not that really matters, but we do have the surround on them. Our units are coming from behind. We've managed to get them. In comes the Hierophant, Tarquin. I'm kind of stuck on Tarquin now. So Tarquin is he's just having a look, isn't he? He's just chilling. Meanwhile, the archers fill in the beautiful ladies, the beautiful flying ladies with arrows. Extreme acupuncture going on right there. And Tarquin is going to just step on people. He's just throwing his weight around. There's literally exploding blood from the air. Whacking them down. Nice work. The enemy general is he's a dark elf with... He's just stabbed one of my skeletons. What a dick. Jeez. I mean, I was sending Tarquin after him. I'm not sure if I'm stuck with Tarquin. I might sleep on it, try and decide what I'm going to call him. Do you have any ideas what we're going to call him? Let me know. Let me know. So, we're going to debuff old, whatever, it's Bell something, whatever his name is. The rest of his army's off. I mean, they've had enough. And in comes maybe Tarquin. I mean, to be fair, you know, if a giant gold statue came along and lasered me with its eyes, I wouldn't stick around. I would be gone. I mean, I would just leg it. But Bell there, hanging on for a little while until he's... Does you cause terror? You do cause terror. So yeah, he's terrified. He's legging it. He's off. He's like, nope, I've had enough of this. Basically, can't be bothered with this. I'm off. And he's actually slightly faster than maybe Tarquin, which is a little bit... I mean, you know, I feel like stride-wise, Tarquin has the advantage there, but it turns out he's just a little bit nippier. So instead, we're just going to blat him with a bolt spell. Knocks him, I mean, just face plants, but he's okay. He gets back up. I mean, you know, that's resilience right there, isn't it? That's resilience. Off you go. Bye. Okay, right, so we have options. We can... Indeed. We can end this march, so release of its energy, blah, blah, blah. And so we get more money, which of course is really nice, because, I mean, 355 income is like 7 turns of income for us. Plus we get 20% campaign movement range. And we can get 30 canopic jars by harvesting their organs, which would be lovely. Or we can bind their souls, which gives us the replenishment and also extra replenishment for several turns after that. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go Endless March. Because that's going to give us... Oh, Obsidian Trinket as well, that is. Not actually that useful. Because that's going to give us the money that I so rightly need to start building stuff up. So we can actually get the Skeleton Archer Chariots now, which I think I'm going to do. So we can do that. Are we... Wait. Is this all one province? Jesus Christ, it is. Alright. Alright, well, Khatep has leveled up twice. So let's go Root Marcher. Obvious. Just good first choice. You've also got Geheb, God of the Earth. So Ushabti, melee attack increase, minus... Okay, good. He also gets a casket of souls that he can sit on, which is quite good. Basically, you can make him an artillery piece, which is pretty nice. Reanimator is quite nice. More uses of Sandstorm, which is a spell he has, which is quite good. Steed Reanimation, which is more melee attack and leadership for horsemen and chariots. Tomb Guard unit capacity. More Lich Priests. And then Hero Action Success Chance for Lich Priests and also Winds of Magic, which is quite nice. We also get the Mortuary Cult Scholar, so Hero Capacity for Lich Priests, Canopic Jars, and more... Oh, less enemy Winds of Magic. Magic, well, that's fine. And Research Faction-wide, which is always quite nice. I'm tempted to actually go for Sun-Scorched Bone, because that's going to give benefits for, I mean, just a lot of our infantry. But Jeff's incantation of Cursed Blades. I mean, the bonus versus large isn't great. It's not that useful. At least not right this instant. But I think it's the best choice, so let's go with that. And Foktem, we're gonna go with... Let's go Soulblight. Let's do that. Good. Right. Let's get our chariot on. Let's get maybe a couple more of those. I'll get one of those. That's fine. We'll do that. We're upgrading that. That's all good. Now, if we have a look here, we can see that because of buildings and commandments, we've got some chaos corruption. So I think there's the bad people somewhere. I get the feeling there might be beastmen. Now, I'm fairly sure I did see beastmen. See, Search Ruin is 500. That's a lot of money. That's a lot. I mean, I could maybe go for, like, the Remnants of Battle here. Because that could give us some early income. That might be quite nice. So, victory conditions. So, to win, we need to collect 5 Books of Nagash and hold the Black Pyramids, I can say words, of Nagash, and also win the following battle, the Battle of the Black Pyramid. So, the Books of Nagash. So, The Books of Nagash are littered across the world map, and they are randomly placed. So we've got one here. So that is an army Abhishek the Blood Gatherer. So that gives hero capacity +1 for heroes, hero action cost -50%, and action success chance increased. The fourth Book of Nagash, which is probably one of the weaker books, is the closest one, and that's at the ancient city of Quintex. That's going to give us Canopic Jars 250, just a flat increase of 250 Canopic Jars, Lord Recruit rank, and wound recovery time. And the 8th Book of Nagash down here, effectiveness for all commandments +50%, so that could be quite useful. And the 7th Book of Nagash is 10 Canopic Jars a turn, which is quite nice. There's kind of a blob of them down here, isn't there? So this is where we can... Right, so if we get the 6th Book of Nagash, we can get the Shadow Lich Priest. I would really like that. And 7th book, income from trade. Now, we don't get a huge amount of income from trade, so 20% is nice, but it's not great. 3rd Book of Nagash. Regions will be hit by sandstorms after sacking or occupying settlements, immune to sandstorm attrition, casualty penetration rate after... Okay, that's not bad. And then... Now, this is the really nice one up here. Sure. So we get more army capacity and then unit capacity for various units. Now, getting that one is really nice. I think in my Khalida campaign, I think that was one of the first ones I got, which proved to be incredibly useful. So actually, having that one be fucking miles away is less than ideal, but we'll just have to roll with the punches. The Black Pyramid of Nagash is like somewhere around here, I think. So I think it's around here somewhere. The fuck is that? It's a bit glowy, isn't it? It's a bit glowy. So the Black Pyramids is over here. So we're going to have to go quite far to reach it, but I think we can do it. It's fine. We can do this. So we need 5 books of Nagash, and then you know what it is? It's where the fucking books is, isn't it? It's where the fucking books are. Yeah. Vulture Mountain. And this one is some Pilgrims of Merimida. Now, I think these guys will actually move around, so the book, they might, if they go in like a circle around Ulthuan, then we might be able to like nip out and hit them early on. That could be a potential option. So, you know, it'll be fine. Right, so first steps. Now, I know there's beastmen around here somewhere. I'm kind of tempted to maybe try and knock out Sildra Tor. I'm also kind of thinking maybe we need to make friends with the Lizardmen, because if we make friends with Lizardmen, at least we've got... I mean, we've got a common enemy, and that is the Dark Elves. So we could be friends with the Lizardmen. That would make my life a little bit easier. I think I learned from my Wurzag campaign that having friends... You know, friendship is magic. And having friends is not necessarily a bad thing. So I think that's what we probably need to do. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to head down to Titan Peak and try and take that ASAP now that we've got our chariots. Are chariots going to make life easier for us? Maybe. It's a lot more micro though. But still, it should be fine. But that is going to have to wait until next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Khatep campaign.